everybody, I'm Bill Owen from mmpctech.com, and I've got a special guest in the shop for another fun project. This is my N+ teacher from 2003, Brad Copeland, and Brad is a serious Simpsons fan, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a Simpsons theme small form factor PC. What is this, Brad, we're watching?
This is sign-ups to work with the mayor here.
This is the Microfly by Ultra, and it is a micro ATX cube. And I found this for $29.99 on sale. Unfortunately, the sale is over, but I've seen them priced between $60 and $80 from various resellers online. It's got a 120mm exhaust fan built into it. This is really sweet. It's got a removable motherboard tray for a little micro ATX case. That's pretty sweet. Then all of the side panels come off. Top panel easily comes off. There's thumb screws on earlier. It's got a rack for 2 hard drives. It takes 2 5¼ optical drives in it, and it's got a 3.5-inch bay in it.
Hopefully no one uses a floppy drive.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know, why do you think they're still manufacturing 3.5-inch bays? Any idea?
For memory card readers and for diagnostics for network technicians and imaging and all that kind of stuff.
Right on. Check this out. If you want to do like LAN parties and you want to bring your PC around, it's got a sweet little carry handle built into the bezel. My plan is, this is how slick the bezel comes off, just like that. I want to put some bigger fans in here. Move more air with less fan noise, because from the factory they put in an 80mm fan in here, and this is going to be kind of whiny. But looking at this little baby will take 2 120mm fans in the front. Now the trick is that you can't really put them behind the front bezel because the support beams in the chassis are here, and we don't want to compromise these at all. But my idea is to make a new bezel, hollow it out in the backside, have the fans mounted inside the bezel, and then attach the bezel onto the front of the chassis. And Brad, you're only going to need 1 optical drive.
That's right.
So we'll still have space. We'll have the 2 bays here, so we can put something in here like card reader, USB ports. We're going to punch out this factory perforated fan grill on here for better airflow. So I'm just going to remove this fan first. Right, we got our fan unscrewed. Brad, this is a Greenlee knockout punch, okay? This will punch out a 4.5-inch diameter hole that's perfect for a 120mm fan. This actually will go through here. We're going to cut out a hole here. This cup will go on the other side, and this will squeeze together the aluminum and punch out our hole. Okay. What we do, take a tin snips. Okay. Now we've got a hole for the shaft of the knockout punch to go through. This is kind of tricky. What I'll do is there's 4 blades that protrude, and I'll just kind of align them so I'm somewhat in the middle. This is a 19-inch long socket wrench with 2-inch size socket in on here. Right here, this is about $130. Okay, the knockout punch to buy this from Greenlee. That's, I think, about $450 for this. You don't want to bend it as you're doing the knockout punch, so I'm just gonna, to keep it from wobbling around a bit, just gonna use a C-clamp right there. There's the foot is right underneath this. Brad's got these appropriate Simpsons tribute PC garb on. And what we're doing here is we're just placing the two 120mm fans on the front of the chassis, and we're going to mark off where we're going to cut out an opening. And Brad's just taking a pencil, and on the inside of the frame he's marking off like a half circle for the outside cut. And to join the two half circles together, Brad's going to use a measuring square lined up right along the edge of the chassis and just make his line across. And to cut out this portion of the chassis, we'll start with a rotary tool, a Dremel or whatever you have, with 1/2 inch cutting wheel. And we'll just start our initial cut somewhere on here, and we'll use a jigsaw to finish it off. Alright, that's good enough. What we didn't want to do is we didn't want to compromise the support for the drive bay column in here still, so that's why we didn't cut this out, and that's why we also left this tab in here as well. Brad, you're going to paint the chassis of the Ultra Microfly. In order to do that, I want you to first take this Scotch-Brite pad, this is very fine, and just scuff up the surface of the metal to promote some adhesion for the primer coat. For the primer coat, you're going to use SEM brand self-etching primer. This is a gray color. And then for the final color coat, I thought Forward Blue would be a good match for Marge Simpson's blue hair. And this is by Duplicolor, and this is an engine enamel paint, and it goes on nice and thick.